Saturday Showdown. T1 versus Genji Esports.
I'm kind of expecting Keen to play something maybe a little bit more tanky, and that is what he's looking at right now, as the Scion will be considered. Man, this does mean that game number 2, Rumble and Gwen priority, is going to be out the wazoo. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah. I think T1 are pretty okay with this. You know, they end up in... They have a comfort pick for Faker. Faker's most played in rounds 3 to 5. You know, Owner's on his Xin Zhao. The Orianna Xin Zhao is a good combo. Corki Poppy going to be very serviceable later on. There's a lot of dive throughout the enemy team. It is pretty scary, but I think overall things have been navigated pretty well. That Aurora Flex, like the Aurora Vi, the dive threat for the enemy composition is scary. Don't get me wrong, Genji do have a comp that has a lot of cohesiveness, but I think the threat of the Aurora Flex is something that kind of just didn't really get utilized, and I think T1 are pretty okay.
So we get fireworks from the beginning, no matter what. Let's jump into the Rift here for game 1 of our Saturday Showdown. Aurora, if played properly, is just kind of disgusting and lame. And now Canyon, speaking of pressure, is coming down to look for a dive. Gumiushi does have his summoners available, but he may have to use them as the Valkyrie comes out. There's the barrier, as Duro holding onto the turret aggro, and he is a cannon. And so he can do it, as Carrier now so incredibly low, as Canyon just standing next to him gets out the steadfast presence as the flash forward. Duro will be able to tank that one up. No buckler death for him.
Yeah, he sets up and baits the slam from Carrier, flashes it immediately, which was just so well played, and then lands the root onto Carrier, gets him low. Goes for the redive here, takes aggro. Walks out, the buckler comes in, not enough to kill him.
Yep.
Duro just playing that one so perfectly. I feel like playing with T1 spot lane now. Dive coming top.
Yep, Keen could be in a little bit of trouble, and by could be, I mean, he definitely is. Flash out from Ona, that is going to keep him alive. Keen will be able to deal with this wave. Of course, Scion pretty good at getting dove, which is a weird thing to say, but not going to miss out on too much, and he stops the back of Doran.
Jetpack has to be very careful, as Doran with flash can just kind of one-shot him if he wants to.
Yeah.
Ona does just smite the Scuttle, but carries enough to keep Canyon away.
As the flash forward, looking to lock down the Nico, and Doran just punishes Duro for overstepping.
Kind of needed for the side of T1. Finds the window, doesn't get tricked by the clone as well. Connects immediately. If you're focused on like trying to kill the backline, and there's just this Renekton there, doing so much damage, especially with the buffs they made to his dominance. He just kind of melts everyone who's nearby. Kind of chocolate bar, you know?
I'm not saying this out of experience. We've got a bit of an engage. Great snare to come down from Duro, and another kill comes in for Rule, and now Duro looking to lock down Carrier, but he's not going to find her. Gumiushi does flash away, but it's a double for the Kai'Sa. Doran trying to get in there as Canyon looking to fend him off. But Meek not going to quite work out. The heroic charge does come through though, and Ruler will be locked down. Doran is very scary, but he just goes down. Chovy finds the angle, and it's another Tangle Barbs as the double comes in for Duro. It's kind of crazy though, because you can see Canyon moving over here, looking to try and lock down this Dragon. Could be double Dragon for T1 to start this one off, as the knockup does come through, but they're not going to be able to get here. That's going to be a Chemtech Soul, which honestly, not too bad. Oftentimes they give you a hard time for this one, but there is a Renekton and stuff like that, as Gumiushi taking a lot of damage here as it turns out. As okay, we've got a cease and desist here. Gumiushi is going to agree. He will stop. As Canyon, he may as well. And a teleport in from Doran as well, so that is going to mean that it's T1 favored. Great little pick off there, and good answer from T1. As Canyon's moving over, but there are a lot of people underneath this turret. Looks like T1 do want to employ the Rift Herald, and he does go down. That's a great double shockwave from Faker, as Canyon and Chovy looking a little worse for wear. This isn't going to be the tower falling down immediately, and Keen looking to try and get some pressure down. Let's see whether he can find an angle as he slows down Doran, but they just turn onto this Scion. Genji not able to protect him, and Keen has to flash to get himself out of the way. Blooming Burst not quite doing enough here as Chovy walks
and look
into the river here. They've got so much vision of this area as that. You look for it. Doran underneath the turret, but maybe it's a bridge too far still. They managed to lock that turret down and trade for their Renekton. Cease and desist, and they just mow them down. Keen not going to quite find the window here as another Tangle Barbs comes in, and Owner is also dead. It's a triple for Ruler. Oh no! It looked so good for T1 until it was a disaster. As Owner is off to the side, this Otacon down to 50%. It's taking so much damage, man. If Ruler decides things just go down, but Doran has found a flank angle, and Ona gets himself in there. It looks like they're not interested in the Otacana. Cease and desist will connect, fully charged Q onto Doran, and he is going to be the first one to go down. Pop Blossom to deal with Carrier, and they do manage to do it. It's just front to back here for Gen G as Ruler goes in, looking for the last few shots. The supercharger comes down for Gumayusi. He outplays it. Duro now in trouble as Otacon is looking to finish him off as Keen. Can he get over this wall to lock him down? And he has the flash. And Gumayusi, not many ways out here. Faker has actually taken out Chovy off to the side, and he gets the Otacon. All of the pedals going their way, and now they have the DPS. Keen, he's just a tank, and he has to walk it off.
Do you see Chovy looking on this flank angle?
Yeah, Carrier is going to get spotted here by Gen G as Keen moving in, wanting to find the angle. Chovy throws down between worlds. There's the Void Seeker connecting for Ruler as he gets dove on by the Renekton. Pop Blossom does nothing at all, and now Canyon's in trouble. Void Seeker is going to connect. There is the knock-up, and Ruler is over the wall. He takes down Gumayusi, goes golden to keep himself alive as Carrier's trying to be a hero. But it is going to work. They do get Ruler, and now it's Chovy needing to kill Faker in this game, because if they don't, he might be able to just win this one by himself. He wants to take the Aurora, but the orb doesn't have the range. Ona wants to get in there. There is the stasis to avoid Keen, but he's so extremely tanky. And Chovy's not going to risk it this time around. Ona just audaciously charging this Brambleback. And yes, Keen is kind of immortal against these champions as Chovy's making his way back, and that is T1's cute exit.
We'll have to back away. Keen got so much presence here. Chovy TPing back in, now looking.
Yep, doesn't get it.
T1 aren't even opting to contest the Dragon. That's how concerned they are about moving into an area they don't have vision, on the back of the fact that they don't have flash on their carries.
And it is Soul Point. They have started off this Baron as Duro not going to get stunned. As there's the knock-up coming on through. Duro gets over the wall, but I don't think he's necessarily in safety just yet. That Tangle Barbs may have helped out as Doran looking to get in there. The Pop Blossom, though, is going to hold him up in the air, and Duro will survive. That was some very cheeky Nicoing, and that means that the Baron is going to get stopped as now Canyon, he's the one in trouble, and Gumayusi does a lot of damage. Cease and desist will not be acquiesced at this point in time. And there goes the jungler, and the Baron's up.
Yeah, so big pick to get Canyon down. They want to set up for this Baron, but Doran is low, and they're still cautious about the potential for a fight. They're now looking for more. Yep,
Mega Cone does get Ona in there as between worlds goes Chovy. Knock-up is going to come on through for Keen, but he is still melting here against T1. He does find some knock-ups, but doesn't get the Q. Void Seeker going to come on down here as Ruler. I don't think he wants to fight this. The Zombie Scion will be taken down, and T1 keep everyone alive, and this should mean Baron.
Yeah, the fact they got Chovy's ult as well, a big tool down. The poke is coming in from Ruler. Remember, he has the reset his W every time it lands.
Yep, Chovy's still up as well, as there is Doran setting up that Dominus. He's had a beeline towards Ruler every single time, but this health bar is just getting softened up. The Baron's likely to go down, but can they get themselves out? And the answer is absolutely yes. As Chovy on that angle, Canyon moves into the pit, I think unseen there, as now Doran dives on top of Chovy. Can he actually get himself out? He goes between the worlds, but the Krug Lord has him exactly where he wants him, and the Dragon goes over to T1. Keen is looking to go down here as well, as no redemption for the Scion, and T1 finding the angles in the late game. Get into position here. That is definitely this inhibitor going down. Let's see how much more that they can collect. As there is no Baron, they can deal with the wave theoretically, but there's a lot of low-range members on Gen G. And T1 will have front row seat to this. Here's the engage as Ruler dives in, immediately does go golden and does flash away. Can he stay alive? That's the question. The answer is no! Ona is able to lock him down as Canyon gets into that backline, but it's not going to be enough. And T1 they were losing the entire game until they weren't, as Keen is going to show up looking to try and deal with this wave as best he can. They might be able to do it here for now, but that's another Zombie Scion. And Doran running amok in this fight as well. This one may not necessarily be completely over just yet, but I think the writing is on the wall as T1 phenomenal performance late in this game. Duro and Chovy trying to get this one done. Out goes Chovy. No between worlds for you. And Gumayusi just needs a few shots on this Nexus. Chovy not going to be able to finish him off. And there it is. T1 with a game 1 win. Did more damage than Ruler, which is kind of ridiculous. because he was, you know, absolutely massive in this game. Just at the end, wasn't able to get past Doran. Every time Doran saw him, he was flashing on top and just doing the... As what are we playing, Carrier? What have we been cooking up? Zillion. Well, as we know, there's no Killian the Zillion. That's a Silas that he's hovering, so maybe we're not being serious just yet. Let's see what he does decide to lock in. Can be, of course, the Nautilus, which does work out relatively well, but instead, Renata will be locked in.
I mean, this is the thing we talked about, right? The melee topside, the short-range composition. One of the best champions at punishing short-range compositions is Renata. You're forced to dive in against T1. There's no real option about that. And now you're diving into a Trundle, you're diving into a Renata, and it's going to be pretty difficult. I feel like if we get to the later stages against T1, if Gen.G aren't crisp, if they end up face tanking the hostile takeover, things could get very messy very quickly. So I think T1 have some powerful tools behind them, and it's really going to come down to this Pantheon Galio. This is such a strong duo. They have so much global pressure. We could very much see Gen.G running away with this game as a result.
Has actually practiced or not. New expansion coming out. Maybe he's been playing it. Let's get on to the Rift. Get into game number 2.
For Gen.G, but it just comes down to how it plays out. Because obviously last game we saw a good spot, and now looking for a potential dive. They are healthy.
They're healthy, but so is this wave. As Extendo Beam does come on through, let's see what Dura can do to keep Ruler alive. As he does Ghost, but that is not going to help him at all. Down will go Carrier, though.
I think it's just hooves as well, right?
They're not hooves, though.
Are they not?
I don't think so. As Ruler may just kill Doran here as he flashes and picks it up. Maybe there's some generosity there as Keen. Not going to be treated with very much generosity here towards the bottom side of the map. I say that. Doran is going down so incredibly low as Ona gets in there, tries to put him in the kennel as the ward goes down, and Doran is able to help him burn that one out. So that got the value for his Trundle. As Duro is flashing in, Handshake is going to come on down as Canyon says, "This is my dragon. Please leave it alone." And they will say yes. Yep. No flash available here for this particular Gwen as Duro is utilizing that Hex Flash, and they will be able to find Guma here. He does have the bailout, but I just don't know whether that's going to be proccing as Ruler looking for more. It is another kill going over to this Zeri.
But pulling off perfectly, and the power of the level 6 from Zeri obviously very strong. T1's bot lane not expecting to be punished because, you know, you think you're playing Civ, you think you've got the spell shield ready, the safety before after Banner's flash.
You're exactly right.
Unfortunate. Oh no.
Now, some needlework going to come on through here as Carrier, not going to find the hostile takeover because Keen just walks over it. Now he's looking for Gumayushi, who's not going to have any way out of this one. Duro just pulls him in with the Magnet Storm, and now, can we have some Gwen certification as well? Because Keen is kind of massive.
And now with Keen and Ruler so far ahead, I am very concerned for T1.
I'm a bit concerned for Chovy here as well, as he is going to have to flash to get himself out of this one, but I still don't know whether he's out of the woods just yet. Is going to Justice Punch, and that is going to keep him alive. So we're going to check this one out once again. Keen looking very relaxed there in the player cam as he just wanders over. And the hostile takeover is just going to do nothing as a result. There's another flash in live, as we can see in picture-in-picture.
Removed in return for like the AP ratios on Ziggs Q.
Got a little bit of a stun here onto Ona, who does have to flash away. Hostile takeover is only going to connect onto the Pantheon, but he's kind of okay with it as the heroic charge comes down. Bailout will actually activate, but not too much more as, oh goodness, if it wasn't certified before, it certainly is now. I would say so. It did feel pretty significant last time, but the results certainly were not. This is another result of some situations that were happening elsewhere as the teleport brings Faker in, but he doesn't really want to be here. Still, Carrier and Ona are going to turn up, and I don't think Keen is quite as immune as he really wants to be. As the bailout is down onto Ona, and down goes the Gwen.
Oh no.
Well, Gumayushi is going to get magnetized, and Ruler going to zap him a few times. Does actually invest the flash, just to make sure that he's not going to get closed in on, as Owner has found him. And if he gets into Rune Prison range, this could be dangerous for Ruler, who's trying to kite this one out, but it's not going to work. And it's going to be the Rumble that locks down the shutdown. Did you ever use it as a track, or was it only ever to launch cars as far as you could launch them?
Launch cars.
Yeah, that was actually the only thing I thought that it was about. Immediate teleport going to come on through here. from both the Rumble and the Galio as Keen possibly going to get flanked here as Faker does come on over, but he has Carrier in tow. We do have the heroic entrance coming down. The equalizer does basically nothing, unfortunately. And Chovy's able to tank this one up. T1 using so many resources, and they have to realm warp themselves out. But Duro just catches them in the magnet. Handshake is decent, but it just brings Ruler closer. So the T1 will melt. Another Penta will be denied. This time it's Canyon that does it. But Ruler probably still happy. He's a 9-2 Zeri in this game.
And then we get the slow comes in from the Pantheon, and then the engage from the Rel, and then this with the Runans as well.
Yeah, the ulti hits 4 at the same time.
It's just prime scenario for a Zeri at this point. And I feel like Ruler just, it was just like the most chill team fight ever.
He was so locked in, dude. He didn't say Penta once.
Wow.
Possibly never ending. That has now been completed as Owner wanting to steal this one away. He does get stunned up though and then just put into the blender. Down goes Gumayushi first. The Otacon is secured by Ruler somehow as Carrier trying to get himself out, but he just gets crashed into by this Rel. And now skating over the wall, Jet Set Radio future here for Ruler, and he will be able to just zap down Faker. There's the pentakill for Ruler Zeri, as it doesn't work the first time. Why not just set it up again?
And then here, Ruler's definitely going to call for it now.
Yep, let's listen to him celebrate. The man that gets denied the most pentas out of any other player on the planet. It will be Doran, Ruler able to lock it down, but Quadra kill comes in. I want to see the celebration, Ruler, give it to me. Wow, zero reaction at all. I guess maybe he's playing Zeri, so he's like, maybe it doesn't count. As Keen is going to be able to pick up a kill onto Doran here at the same time. Feels like he's also got the upgraded shoes. Chovy going to look for Owner here. Does manage to land the taunt, but Ruler not going to go too aggressive. Keen is, though, as in comes the Galio as well. Lands a nice double knockoff as the bailout is there, but it buys a few seconds maybe. And Gen G are just going to pile in and destroy. Ruler looking to skate on over and just one taps the rest of Doran's health bar. And Gen G, I think they're done having fun in this game. They're going to look towards game number 3 to try and close this one out. T1 will be back on the blue side, though, once again. I'm just glad that we get the full series between these two titans here in the LCK. Remember, stakes still massive for T1. They will have that first pick advantage. Let's see whether they can turn around this momentum.
He was everywhere this game, setting up his carries perfectly. And if ever there's been a statement game, Duro definitely saying, we are going to win this series, doing his best to make.
It's Tom Kench.
Tom Kench makes sense in terms of the safety. Not a pairing we've really seen too much with Yunara specifically, but it's a concept that makes sense.
That's sort of his way. As the Cassante, the Keen Sante, being hovered here, as he's grinning just a little bit. Let's see what is actually going to be confirmed. But this would make some sense given the player that we're seeing on our screen. And they will lock that one in. It's not necessarily breaking any records as far as creativity is concerned.
Yeah.
But it's tried and true, and it certainly works. T1, they have a Yunara, they have a Victor, and they have a Dream. And we'll see whether Gumayushi can pop off.
It's one of those things, they have a lot of tools to shut down these carries. There's a lot of early agency. Skirmish is going to be phenomenal. We've seen how much the Wukong can do.
Yeah, we're going to see who is going to make it to the milestone first, whether it will be Chovy or whether it will be Carrier. Based on who wins this game, we'll be coming away with that one as well in today's Saturday Showdown. Let's get into it.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, does not manage to actually fire it into Gumayushi though. Some success for the...
They go for... I mean, Ruler has the fourth shot as well. I think they can just burst him.
Yep, let's see whether they can find the angle in. As Gumayushi is going to be able to make his way out, actually. As Ruler was tanking up the turret. They get the teleport out from the Yorick. And this could signify an early lane swap here for T1. As Owner is making his way and gets the flash out from Chovy. Having to deal with both at the same time is the important part. As... Chovy is going to get licked momentarily. Deathray comes on through, and Owner is coming in. Yep, no flash available for Chovy, so he's just going to get impaled to death. And that is first blood going over to the Skarner as well. T1 respecting for now. Carrier possibly on an angle in. Only level 5 here for the Tahm Kench. As Duro also. The Canyon will be able to W over. Then Duro with the follow. So 2 come through for Gen G. The last one was secured there by Owner as well. So we'll see who gives the most gold, as Ruler is going to get exhausted. Carrier finds the gobble as the stun comes in, but I don't think Ruler's getting out of this one. Nice barrier though, and he survives. And now the curtains are being called. The last bullet gets the flash. And by last, I mean first. And now Carrier, he's the one in bullet hell, but is going to survive momentarily. Oh, the deadly flourish coming on through there as Duro does make his way in. Man, Ruler is locked in today, as Owner is so tanky. First item complete.
Yeah, Canyon doesn't have a first item completed yet.
Well, Ruler also doesn't have his ulti, so they're down a few buttons on the side of Gen G. Chovy as well, his health bar relatively low. Slurkle going to connect. Duro gets in there with the quickness, finds quite a few, and down goes the Tahm Kench to start us off. Flash out from Owner, trying to keep himself alive as he's going to have to drive his way out of this one, but he will not be allowed to. Ruler delivered that kill. Gumayusi going down on the side, and Gen G just wiped them out and then start back on the Dragon.
Are they going to TP Doran in or just let this go? I think the call is just let it go.
Yeah, Faker actually TPing to the top lane.
I think they can be pretty happy with that. You know, they're going to TP Yorick in here as well.
Yeah, now Canyon going to have to be a bit tricky here to get himself out of the way, but they're not even able to lock down this mid-outer turret. And if there's anyone that knows that Jins can be disappointing, it's me. Faker, his ultimate is just a circle. Doesn't actually do any slowing. Keen is a raid boss, and he's going to go all out. Brings in the Yorick, and where did he go? He might be inside a Slurkle right now, but that's in the death chamber. We cannot see it, as Chovy finding a nice double stun here, as well as Owner looks to come through, but he's delivered by the Kazante, and down goes the Scon. Oh God, it is a bloodbath as Gen G just mow them down. The Otacon going to be taken as well, as Faker, the last man standing, and there is nothing that he can do. He can throw out a Stunkel.
You're struggling there a little bit.
I was attempting. As 4,000 assists here for Chovy, and he's looking to augment that with his 500th win as well. Doran's health bar looked large, but Chovy makes it much smaller. As another Q will do it, and down he will go. And maybe there's a way back in, as Doran, once again, finding some bad guys, but now has Owner with him. Warrior Trixie does bring Canyon over, as that is going to be the red buff secured. There's the Impale as well, but Chovy will turn up. Owner having to flash away. The curtains have been called. Owner is able to... Oh, never mind! The last shot going to come through, and no one can escape this Gen G today, as Duro able to just dash his way out of there. Gen G find a couple of picks. This could break open even more of the base.
Just feels like there's no real recourse from T1. They're kind of just trying to get people out, run away, disengage from the situation. Oh no.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's going to get closed in on. His health bar disappears in the blink of an eye, as the flash forward from Keen, looking for an angle, still wanting to find more, even though there is a Yunara and a turret there. But Gumayusi just not really doing the damage. And the Ghoulie Wall comes down, looking a little bit sad there as well.
Yeah, where did he go?
Well, you know how they banned...
He's taking a nap. I like it.
Do you remember when Gen G banned Ball? They managed to kill Ball. Owner now going to get slowed down, and catching Duro was never going to be an easy one.
Okay, we're flanking.
Yeah, Duro and Ruler possibly in trouble. Let's see how the Ghoulie Wall is going to connect, as the Morning Mist is going to miss. So, Morning Mist, it missed.
Yeah. Also, Ghoulie Wall not very effective against Rakan.
Oh, that's that 50 gold that we were talking about as well. As Duro, that's a little bit frightening, as they do avoid the knockup, but even the Battle Dash gets him out. Oh, Duro, that is unfair. They deserved that one. He is still doing so much damage in this game. As, see, there, for example, Owner was a tank, by the way, guys, and now he is dead.
He just got to delete it completely. They're going to kill the Maiden now?
Oh, no, there's no recourse. As now Chovy having to deal with the Arcane Storm. Faker able to take him down, asserting his dominance against his opposite number, but still the result is going to be a dead inhibitor in this mid lane. And I think this is just confirmation that Chovy isn't getting POM for this game.
I guess
they get some bounty gold, as in goes Duro, out goes Duro. Canyon. Oh, this flank angle, they do get vision, but it's just a little too late. Still Gumyushi's able to flash his way out, but Canyon still so healthy. There's the flash forward, and Chovy says good night to the top lane of T1. The Yunara tried, but T1 are now all on the floor. That is going to be the game win from Gen G, and it is back-to-back massacres here in games 2 and 3. As Gen G really wanting to put an end to this regular season that feels good, and man, they are going to be one heck of a raid boss moving into playoffs.
And with a super dominant performance, Chovy gets his 500 wins.
There it is. He has been here for 6 years now. Wow. Creating milestones. It might have honestly been okay for T1 because
pretty fantastic performance. Chovy was pumping the numbers. That is for sure. Did miss that cannon though, so you know.
Yeah, I mean certainly some things to VOD review moving into the next one, but I wasn't expecting 36k from the Annie in this game, especially when that was the smallest gold advantage that they had. He is of course probably the one more likely to do the damage, as Ruler is going to pick it up. No justice for supports here today.